What is up, everyone? What's up, all my viewers? Progressive Day. Progressive Day? Of course it's a Progressive Day. Um, but let's talk about the hypocrisy, okay? The hypocrisy of the Hillary Clinton campaign, the Hillary supporters, um, and the establishment media. So, I don't know if you saw this, but Rachel Maddow cried on her show when she did the story about the immigrants being broken up at the border, um, and the families being separated at the border. Yes, it's sad, but Rachel, where were you when the U.S. This is nothing new, okay? But this is nothing new. I mean, the U.S. was built on racism. The U.S. was built on slavery and indigenous genocide, and kids were taken, indigenous kids, including right here in Alaska, were taken away from their families, sent to brainwashing schools, uh, and they were banned from speaking their language, whether it be Eok or Inupiaq or Yupik, um, and they were assaulted physically if they spoke a word of Inupiaq or Yupik or whatever their indigenous, or Tsimshian or Unangan. So this is nothing new. So the Mick resistance acting like it's something new. Come on, you should know better. Read history. And then those that are faking outrage, like Barack Obama, Clinton, Maddow, Laura Bush. Where were you the last several decades while the U.S. has murdered innocent people of color overseas? And at Standing Rock, where they assaulted innocent indigenous people, and they even brought a military contractor called Tiger Swan, who is owned by Eric Prince in there. Where were you when Eric Prince murdered people in Fallujah? Or, oh, that's right, Obama and Bush and Clinton and Ashcroft and and Cheney and Rumsfeld and Colin Powell and Condoleezza Rice and John Kerry and Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and Al Gore. You know who were doing? They were the people doing those war crimes in Libya, in Iraq, in Yemen, in Syria, in Somalia, in Afghanistan. They're the ones that are funding the IDF and that are funding Mohammed bin Salman and are funding the Emirati government. They're the ones funding them. So for them to fund murder and genocide in Asia and Africa, as well as export the war on drugs to so-called Latin America, to Honduras, Mexico, Guatemala, and El Salvador, and then try to do coups in Venezuela, in Ecuador, and Colombia, for them to do that and then act all outraged about something that is happening in the U.S. that's a result of that? Come on. They should have known their actions had consequences, right? They should have known that. And also, Obama was the deporter in chief. He deported more families than anyone else since about 1870. He deported more immigrants than any other president, and all the other presidents combined since 1870. Okay? So I know he's not talking. He shouldn't be talking. Clinton shouldn't be talking, right? Bush shouldn't be talking. Both parties are bought by the same donors. They're bought by these for-profit prisons like Geo Group, I think one's called, and then the Corrections Corporations of America or something like that. They're both bought by the same people, folks. So the neoliberal Mick resistance, pretending like this is something new, or pretending like Trump's the problem. Trump's a symptom of the problem. This is part of the problem, right? Trump is a symptom of the problem. The problem is capitalism and imperialism combined with white supremacy. And that's been going on since the Europeans first stepped foot on Pequot land, right? So that since the Spanish first set foot on Taino land, that's how long this has been going on. And for those that say, oh, we need to get our democracy back, what democracy? America's never been a democracy. Why do you think a bunch of rich white English men were the ones writing the Constitution? America's never been a democracy. It's always been an oligarchy. And I could go cite some Princeton study, which obviously confirms what I'm saying. But think about who the so-called founding fathers, more like the founding failures, were. Rich, white English men. So please save all your fake outrage, Mick resistance, right-wingers, whoever you may be. Read the facts. We need to change the system. We can't elect some mealy-mouthed corporate candidate like Elise Galvin. We need to elect a real progressive like Dimitri Shane. And to the neoliberals that are like, who's got more name recognition and who's more popular? Yeah, that person's also takes corporate donations. And if you don't have a problem with politicians essentially taking legalized bribes, then you're part of the problem, okay? And you're not a real progressive. So basically you're Elizabeth Warren, right? So that's, and this is why we need to elect real progressives. We need to abolish ICE. We need to abolish the Department of Homeland Security. And we need to bring back the law that makes the media report the truth, which first Reagan and then Clinton took away. See, both parties do it. And the Democrats, they're a sinking ship. I Dem-exited. I'm an independent now. Not officially, but I'm going to officially be an independent after this election cycle. I will vote for a lot of independents. And hey, the Democrats, Republicans, they're bought by the same people, and it's time to Dem-exit, and I'm out here.